Oh. Hey, it's your girl Melissa, your single mom in the faith. Well, I'm out of work again today. My son is still sick. He still had a fever of 101.5 this morning. And so I just decided to keep both kids home. So I'm just grabbing some milk and some bananas from the supermarket. So guys, this vlog is extremely short. After I got home from the supermarket, I just went to the supermarket really quick to buy some bananas and some milk. And, I kept both of my kids home because their school is quite a distance. And my mom was not working remote today, so I didn't have, I couldn't rely on her too much. Um, I'm sure she would have dropped off my daughter for me, but then it would have been hard in the afternoon for having, going across town to pick her up from school. So I just decided to keep them both home. My son, in the middle of the night again, he woke up, he was crying, he was sweaty. I took his temperature. His temperature was 101.5. And, of course, what am I to do? I reached out to my principal. I explained to her the situation. At this point, I have no more days left. Like, I have no more sick time, personal time. I have no more days left. But it's like, what am I to do as a mother? What do I do? Like, I leave my child for dead because I have to be at work? Like, I understand that our jobs are important, but at the end of the day, our children should be our priority. Their well-being needs to be a priority. Like, jobs are replaceable. I'm replaceable at my job. And so, but yet, even knowing that, like, I feel guilty. I feel guilty for calling out of work. And it's like, why? Like, why? I feel absolutely terrible. And then every time I go back to work, after being out for a few days, like, I just feel like guilty. And yeah. So anyway, so today I just spent my day, I had my hands full because my daughter's a handful as well. So I kept them both home. Made sure my son was drinking a lot of water. He ate soup. I gave him Tylenol. He still had moments where he was sweating throughout the day. He's not going to be able to go to school tomorrow. But luckily, my mom is working remote, so she's going to stay with him and care for him and nurse him for me, help nurse him back to health for me. And I'll be going back to work. And my daughter will be going to school. But it just sucks, man. It just sucks. And I always knew before I had kids, like, I never wanted to be in this situation, but I didn't know, I didn't know what else to do. Like, I was trying to figure out a way to work from home. I was trying, I tried all these, what do you call it? Multi-level marketing, several different companies, which didn't lead to anywhere. I just lost a lot of money investing in those things. And then I got into teaching because of their paternal uncle. He encouraged me to go back to school. He was like, oh, teaching is the perfect job for a parent and you're great with kids. And I'm like, you know what, I'll try it. I figured, my kids, they're in grade school now. This is their first year in grade school. And I'm like, that way when I'm on vacation, I can be on vacation with them while they're on vacation as well. And so I figured it would be like a better way for me to be more present and for me to be with them. But no one ever prepared me that working with children, you get sick more than usual. I've never been more sick in my life than when I started working as a teacher. Like, last year, I was sick a lot. Like, I caught COVID like twice last year. And then my kids were also sick. I remember, oh my goodness, several times throughout the year. They will wake up, throwing up all in my bed. And it's like, these things are out of my control. Like, I am not intentionally having bad attendance at work. Like, these are things that are out of my control. Like, I started off this year with every intention to do better with my attendance. I got sick. I got caught the flu the first half of the school year. I caught the flu. I was out for like 5 days. I think a whole week, plus the weekends. My children also got sick. I had a uncle that passed away. I took 2 bereavement days. I think they only gave me one, which I don't know why, because we're allowed 3 bereavement days when we lose someone in our family. But anyways, I took 2 days for bereavement. You know, I had a great uncle that was brutally murdered, taken out of this world, and that was really hard to swallow. That was hard to digest. I was dealing with a lot. And then I took one personal day because it was my children's first year starting grade school, so I wanted to be there for their first day to take them, and it was also their first day was also a half a day, and to pick them up. And then we're allowed 10 days as teachers. We're allowed 10 sick days and then 2 personal days. So I used one personal day for my children because for their first day of school, and then the second personal day I used it to be present at my sister gave birth for the second time after 12 years, and I was there for my first niece, and I wanted to be there for my second niece, and so I used my personal day for that. You know, some people may think, oh, you don't need to use your personal day for that, but you know, family is very important. Like, these are things that, like, the birth of a baby is a beautiful blessing. I wanted to be there for my sister, to support her, to encourage her, and I'm so happy I was there, and I don't regret it. But then all these illnesses, you know, I've never been so sick in my life working with children. Like, before I worked with children, and you know, these are things that are out of my control, and my principal is not happy about it, but it's like I'm not intentionally doing this. But like I said, like I have to trust in God. God sees. He sees that I'm trying my best to be a good mom to my kids while also showing up at my job. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I just wish that I can be in a position where I'm able to provide financially for my kids while also being able to be there for them when they're sick. Like, you know, not have to miss out on work while also being present for them when they're sick and they need me. And the only thing I could think of is a remote job. But nowadays, those things are hard to come by, but I know it's not impossible. But I definitely, it's something I want to look into, because I don't want to look bad to my employers. I don't want to be looking crazy at my job. Like, but it's like I'm a mother first before anything, you know? And so how do you parents deal with this? You know, have you had that experience of having excessive absences because of illness, because of unforeseen things? Like, how, you know, what were your experiences at your job? Like, I would like to know. I need help, because I feel like it's only me. For some reason, I feel like it's only me, because I had a meeting. I had like a disciplinary meeting a couple of months ago with my principal, and you know, she was getting on me. She's like, well, you're not the only single mom, you know, there's plenty of single moms. And it's like, everybody's situation is different. I feel like, I don't know, I don't even know what to say to that. You're not the only single mom. That was what she was saying to me, and I understand that, but like, some of us have more support than others, some of us don't. Like, we're all have different challenges. Being a parent, being a single parent, like, everyone is experiencing different challenges. Like, we don't all have the same amount of support. And so I just wish there was more support for parents in general, for children in general. Like, you know, some grace or leniency for a certain amount of time, because I do have young kids. Younger kids do tend to get sick more, and you know, maybe when they're older they won't get as sick, and maybe once my immune system gets used to working around children, I won't get as sick. But I don't know. Like, I just don't know. This is where I'm at right now in my life. And it's so crazy because I'm like, this month, I'm like, I'm going to go into the month of March. I had a goal to not call out at all. Then I caught some virus, vomiting, diarrhea. My daughter caught it right after me. And then a week later, now my son is sick and with a fever 2 days in a row. I actually noticed that on Monday he wasn't looking his best. And then it started to get worse and into Tuesday, and now it's Wednesday. And yeah, so it's like, what do we do as parents, and when our jobs don't want to have mercy on us, that they don't want to understand that there's, I don't know, it's just, I just feel like it's a little bit cold-hearted. But I get that, you're hired for a job, you have a commitment to the job, but then it's like we're parents also, we have families also, and our children need to be a priority. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know, I don't know what's gonna happen after this, but I'm just like, what, maybe this is part of God's plan. Maybe whatever happens after this is gonna lead me to where I've been praying for to be in, the position that I've been praying to be in for a very long time. But I don't mind working, but like, I want to be able to be there for my kids as well. I don't want to be shoving my kids off to other people. Like, I had my kids so I can raise them, so I can nurture them, so I could be present and teach them things and guide them and be a good example. And so, and I've experienced, I had a single mom for a while. My mom was a single mom for a while. She had to work. And luckily for her, she had my grandmother that was a stay-at-home mom. And so she helped. But even then, so I experienced some things that, children shouldn't have to experience. And so I am working really hard to not let that be the situation or the outcome for my own children. There are things I'm trying to protect them from as well. And so it's just really hard. Like, I shouldn't have to choose between my job and the well-being of my kids and caring for my kids. And so that's it for my vlog today. I'm just gonna have to trust God. If I end up getting laid off for excessive absences, then it is what it is. I can't feel guilty for doing the right thing, which the right thing is taking care of my child while he's sick, versus making my job a priority where I'm absolutely replaceable at my job. I let the administrators know my son is sick. I didn't even get from my principal, yes, like, oh, I'm sorry that your son is sick. I totally understand you have to care for him. And then she acknowledged that I have a lot of absences, even after the conversation we had. But it's like, what do you think, that we're going to have a conversation and no one's ever going to get sick again? Nothing's ever going to come up again? Like, I don't know. And I absolutely feel terrible about it. But what am I to do? Like, what are my options? Guys, please let me know what your experiences are with this type of thing. I cannot possibly be the only one. And so I'm just thinking of, after I finish grad school, I graduate this spring with my master's, God willing, maybe look into some other options, maybe something more flexible. I don't want to have to be put in a position where I'm choosing between my job and my children's well-being. I don't want to have to continue being put in a position where I'm looking bad to my employers because I have to take care of my children, and I have to take care of my own health as well. Because again, I've never been more sick before than when I started working as a teacher. And so, parents, I'm a parent that if my child is sick, I'm not sending them to school because they're going to get other kids sick, and that's not okay. And, unfortunately, in the public school system, parents see their kids snot nose, can barely walk straight. They will send their child like that to school, and everyone will get sick. And so I'm not that type of parent. At least in that sense, I'm like, if you're sick, if I can't, if my mom can't stay with them, then I'm going to have to stay home, because what sense does that make, sending my child sick to school to get other people sick when they're not even feeling well themselves and they need their rest to get better? And so please let me know in the comments, share any wisdom, any advice, maybe something else maybe I can look into. Again, it's just crazy. I'm like, I'm gonna have, even when this week started, I'm like, I'm gonna have a good week, a productive week. Bam, my son gets sick, I have to call out of work. And I had every intention to try to have a perfect month with no calling out. But I've literally, every single month has been one day or another, like I've had to call out due to illness, due to not feeling well, or my children not feeling well, and unforeseen circumstances. And so this is where I'm at, guys, in my life. Wow, wow, wow. Like my life these last few weeks have been just one thing after another. Like if it's not one thing, it's another. And Lord, I know God is working. Even if I don't see it, even if I don't understand what's going on, I know God is working, and I just have to trust him, trust that he's gonna, I have to trust God that he's gonna meet our needs. He hasn't failed me yet, and so I have to continue to believe in him and try to let go of the guilt, because I do feel guilty. And I'm like, why do I feel guilty for being there for my kid when he's sick? And so anyways, guys, that's it for today. Hopefully tomorrow will be a much better day. I'll see you in the next one. I love you, but most importantly, God loves you.